Hello, I'm Jesse Adams with the University of Georgia, and today we're going to cover how to calibrate a sprayer. If you're conducting field research, the sprayer is one of the most important tools you have, as it is needed to apply herbicides, fungicides, and insecticides to your plots. The two things we need to focus on for calibration is your ground speed and your output.
Some pesticides require a flat fan of coverage, which produces a single fan with heavy water droplets. Others may require more of a misty spray to better penetrate the canopy and cover the bottoms of the leaves and the ground under the canopy. For that purpose, today we'll be calibrating for a twin tip as well as a flat fan tip.
In order to measure the output, we're going to need a measuring cup or a calibration tool like this and some gloves. Now that we've added the water, I'll turn the pump on. You'll see that the pressure goes up to about 55, and when I turn the sprayer on, it'll drop down to about 52. If you need to adjust your pressure, you can use the pressure adjust switch here, or adjust your hydraulic pressure if you have a hydraulic pump like I do. If you have a PTO driven pump, just adjust your RPMs.
So now we need to measure the output of each tip using clean water. This calibration tool that I'm using automatically converts the output into gallons per minute, but if you don't have that, then you'll need to use a measuring cup and just do the math. So for the twin tip number 1, I've got 0.26 gallons per minute, and then I'll move on and measure the output of twin tip number 2. And we see that it is 0.28 gallons per minute. So I'm going to record the output for all of those, and then I move on to the flat fan tip. And the first one is 0.29 gallons per minute. Now moving on to the second tip. We see that I've got some water droplets coming out of that nozzle body. That's something that we'll have to fix before we can start to spray. So once you've measured the output of all of your tips, calculate the average, and if any individual tip is more than 10% off of the average, take it apart and see if it needs to be cleaned. This one was a little bit low, and then I noticed it had some sediment built up around the filter and the inside of that nozzle body and that cap area. So we can just take that off, rinse it with some clean water, pop it back on, and recalibrate. Okay, so now that we've cleaned this tip and we've recalibrated, we can average out all of the tips and we get 0.2688. So in order to determine our ground speed, we need to calculate gallons per minute times 5940 over gallons per acre times the width between tips on the sprayer, which equates to 0.2688 for the gallons per minute times 5940 over our intended gallons per acre is 20, and the width between tips is 18 inches. And this gives us 4.43 miles per hour to get 20 gallons per acre. So now we'll do the same thing for the flat fan tip. Take the average of all of the nozzles and we get 0.30. Do the same math and that gives us 4.95. And now that we've calibrated the sprayer, it's time to get to work. Thanks for watching.